Don't wait till it's too late.
Come in now to Mills Fleet Farm and get Celebrate 88.
Do it in style with our New Year's specials this week at Mills Fleet Farm.
Celebrate 88 with a new color television. This deluxe 19-inch KTV set offers 139-channel cable tuning, auto search, and remote control for just $229.99.
And for the best in color and sound reproduction, it's Memorex high standard videotape. Now only $269 after rebate.
So start the new year off with a bang.
Shop for special savings and celebrate 88 with Mills Fleet Farm.
Hi, I'm Joan Steffend. There is no good time to be told about a child's disability, but there is a best time, as early as possible. Courage Center's early intervention and treatment services bring families and specialists together. Their goal is to evaluate and make recommendations for children who may be at risk. Programs can then be tailored to meet individual needs using Courage Center resources. It takes courage to realize that a disabled child needs help. Call now with your pledge, 593-9211.
Now the Twin Cities' fastest growing television news. News 11 with Paul Majors, Kirsten Lindquist, Jeff Passelt on sports, and meteorologist Paul Douglas.
Good evening. Topping News 11 at 5. A controversy involving three-wheeled all-terrain vehicles has prompted a federal ban.
Three-wheelers will no longer be sold in the United States.
Across the country, people own more than 2 million all-terrain vehicles. In Minnesota, there are about 170,000 ATVs being used. Since 1982, an estimated 880 Americans have died in all-terrain vehicle accidents, and more than 300,000 have suffered injuries. Nearly 50% of the deaths and injuries were kids under 16. Authorities claim the three-wheelers are the most dangerous all-terrain vehicles.
We have a team report this evening on the safety of all-terrain vehicles and federal steps to ban three-wheeler sales.
We go now to our Washington Bureau and Ron Talley for more on today's developments. Ron?
Paul and Kirsten, besides that ban on three-wheel ATVs, today's agreement also orders manufacturers to begin a national campaign, a safety program, if you will, for the 2 million Americans still owning them, as well as consumers who may buy four-wheelers in the future. But with ATVs blamed for 20 deaths a month, critics of today's settlement claim it's too little, too late. Although it's a rage, ATV ridership is responsible for 900 deaths since 1982 and 300,000 injuries, nearly half of them children. So action was inevitable. Under the lawsuit agreement, three-wheel ATVs, considered the most dangerous, can no longer be sold in the U.S. ATV manufacturers must mail existing vehicle owners a written warning of the risks involved, as well as offer them free, hands-on safety training. And they must also wage a massive educational safety campaign. Critics of the agreement insist it is woefully inadequate, claiming there should have been a full-scale recall. And they blasted the Justice Department for waiting until after the Christmas buying season to finally take action.
It is the best possible resolution of the problem, achievable under current law. If this case were to be taken to federal court, as some have urged, the results might well be years of litigation without any safety benefits during these years.
While the agreement does not force a recall of three-wheelers or stop the sale of four-wheelers, failure to meet the new standards could bring such action in the future. Meanwhile, individual states are urged to require their own safety laws, age limits, and licensing.
What we have accomplished today is getting as much as possible for consumer safety, getting it as quickly as possible.
Ron Talley, News 11, the Washington Bureau.
I'm Gail Plawonki. There's little question that all-terrain vehicles are fun and popular, but are they safe? Metro area park rangers, who see dozens of injuries a year, say no.
But the three-wheeler seems to be more prone to those type of accidents because you're looking at a lot of these machines going 60, 65 mile an hour plus, and you're putting a 12 to 15-year-old kid on a machine that fast.
One major problem is that while ATVs may be safer for responsible adults, it's mostly kids who ride them, and they may show poor judgment. But as shown in brochures for ATVs produced by Honda, children are a target market, and dealers are not entirely pleased with the changes being demanded by the Federal Consumer Agency.
It's going to basically force the people to take the safety training, which is very important. I don't believe the three-wheelers are as dangerous as, personal opinion, as dangerous as people say they are.
Still, this dealer has only four-wheelers on his showroom floor and says that Honda stopped producing the three-wheelers on its own. Opinions as to whether the all-terrain vehicles can be safe differ, but everyone seems to agree that if more rigid regulations were imposed and enforced, the danger would be less. In St. Paul, Gail Plawacki, News 11.
By the way, Hennepin County Park Rangers used to ride three-wheel all-terrain vehicles themselves, but changed to four-wheel vehicles after several rangers were injured.
This close to the end of the year, a lot of farmers are clearing up some 1987 debts. And like many, Kent Mutterer, who farms 400 acres near Buffalo, was busy today. He picked up an $8,000 loan check from the government to settle some accounts.
And when I mentioned to them that I was going to seal my corn and have this money, they said there'd be no problem, that they would carry me, and when the money came in, I could pay them.
Kent also paid a few others, leaving him by the end of the day with $5,000, and that will pay for seeds in the spring.
A family is homeless tonight after a fire ripped through their apartment, sending residents into the cold night air. Firefighters were called to the Bunker Hills apartments around 3 this morning. The distraught family huddled together in a car and tried to console each other during the ordeal. No one was hurt. Officials have ruled out the Christmas tree as a possible cause. Holiday motorists who've had too much of the New Year's spirit can get a free ride home. Sober cabs will be out in full force to give a lift to intoxicated customers. The service is available through January 2nd and begins at 7 p.m. If you or someone you know needs a ride, just call 588-2771 in the Twin Cities.
Freezing drizzle and slick roads triggered an accident today involving a tanker truck and nearly 24 cars. The mangled mess happened on Interstate 35E at Little Canada Road this afternoon. Police say the tanker tipped when the driver swerved to avoid a two-car collision, and that started a chain reaction. No one was injured, and most of the cars were able to drive away from the accident.
I came into work about 1:15 and it was pretty slick out there. I don't know how it is right now. Paul Douglas is out in the backyard. What do you know about that?
Let's tell the truth, Paul. You sauntered in at about, what, 4:10, 4:15?
Sure, 4:45, you're right. Got out of bed at 4:30. And
what a life. You do it well.
Oh, my.
Yeah, it's actually quite pretty in the backyard right now. We have a mixture. I don't know if you probably can't see it at home. We have a little bit of frizzle and snizzle falling, some freezing drizzle, a light snowy drizzle mixed in. The temperature is 30. That means all the untreated roads, the roads that have not been treated with salt and chemicals, are glaze ice. We have a live shot right now from St. Paul. This is I-94 and Ruth Street. You can see traffic moving slowly, cautiously. But I'll tell you what, give yourself extra time to get from point A to point B this evening. It will take you longer. The bridge overpasses and the ramps are icy. The secondary roads are a real mess, especially outside of the metro, and temperatures are only going to be falling later tonight. So again, not a great night to be out on the highways. The coldest air mass of the season on the way. With that in mind, here's tonight's trivia. Which of the following keeps you the warmest? Now, there may be more than one answer. I'm looking for a few answers here. Layers of clothing, one big heavy overcoat, mittens as opposed to gloves, a warm hat, and or a little nip. Which of the following? Maybe more than one answer. We'll have it for you coming up. The view from outer space, lo and behold, the sun was out early this morning, but clouds quickly moved in as Gulf moisture passed over our snowpack, squeezing out some freezing drizzle as expected this afternoon, turning the roads to glaze across much of the area. Here come the thick clouds producing blizzard conditions in South Dakota, where blizzard warnings are in effect. Again, we're not forecasting a blizzard for us. I think there will be a couple of inches of snow later tonight. The big thing I want you to remember is a giant drop in temperature late tonight and tomorrow. Wind chills tomorrow night down around 20 to 40 below. Take the cold seriously. Here's the big view from coast to coast. You can see what's happening. There's that comma-shaped cloud associated with a storm in the upper atmosphere. It's moving east, the coldest air mass of the season yet, draining southward behind this frontal system. Again, a couple of inches of snow this evening, and I think there will be some blowing and drifting. The winds later tonight and tomorrow up around 30 miles an hour, and especially in southern Minnesota where they have a good foot on the ground, I think there could be some serious blowing and drifting problems later on tonight. Freezing drizzle, central Minnesota. Here's the snow, some of it quite heavy across parts of South Dakota with blowing and drifting. With that in mind, the Weather Service has us under a weather advisory. Ice, then a couple of inches of snow. Travel simply not recommended if you're heading out towards Sioux Falls or Pierre, Aberdeen, It's a real mess at this hour. The map tomorrow, if it's any consolation, basically dry weather. No problems getting from point A to point B tomorrow. It's just going to be cold with blustery winds and wind chills again down around 30 below. Forecast for tonight, again an advisory in effect for east central Minnesota for freezing drizzle, changing to snow. A couple of inches possible. I could see 3 in some parts of Minnesota. Most of us will get an inch or 2. Hazardous travel as we take another live peek at St. Paul. Bitter winds tomorrow, flurries in the morning, clearing late. Temperatures falling through the teens. A low tomorrow night, New Year's Eve, of anywhere from -4 to -10. And the wind chills down in the danger zone. It will warm up into the teens again by the weekend, Paul and Kirsten. So have a chance to show off your new winter wardrobe tomorrow. Take your warmest clothes.
And hat.
Yeah, you'd want mittens
Lots of
and layer
layers.
clothes and
lay off the
hat.
booze.
Yeah,
huh?
no alcohol.
I'm having real trouble hearing you, Tom.
See you later.
As 1987 comes to a close, we're taking time to review some of our top stories of the year. Tonight, meteorologist Dennis Feltgen takes a look at the memorable weather moments of 1987.
Winter in the Midwest. Snow, ice, wind, and cold. The kind of weather that breeds stories of survival told over and over to our children and grandchildren. So what are we saying about the winter of '87? Most of it felt like early spring. Temperatures ran 5 to 10 degrees above normal, with only 17.4 inches of snow falling, one of the lowest in Twin Cities history.
So what happened? Well, we can blame the upper winds, that fast-moving river of air that circles the globe and steers around our weather systems.
In a typical winter, they look like this, allowing wet air from the south to combine with cold air from the north, creating those cold, snowy days in the Midwest. But for much of the winter of '87, those upper winds were split, trapping the cold air to the north and the wet air to the south. That left the Midwest warm and dry. The unusual heat and lack of moisture carried into spring, too. It gave Minnesota and Wisconsin one of its worst droughts in memory. Brush fires had become an everyday event through the tinder dry brush. Farmers were especially hard hit, and hay was brought in from the south to help feed livestock. The drought broke in the Twin Cities with the arrival of the superstorm on July 23rd. The rest of the region is still dry as we head into 1988, and another winter like last year could be a disaster. Dennis Feltgen, News 11.
Still to come on News 11 at 5, a breakthrough in the so-called yuppie disease.
And how a blessed event has staffers at Children's Hospital seeing double. We'll be right back.
Some days driving's a real challenge. That's why you need American Family Auto Insurance. Our fast claims service, low rates, and multiple car, good student, and accident-free discounts have made us industry leaders. So why go it alone? Call an American Family agent today. We'll protect you on the road and off.
American Family Insurance.
Look in the white or yellow pages for the American Family agent nearest you.
Thanks, Mom. I'm so glad Tony loves his Mott's. Hey, Tony, what you got? I got the Mott's. What do you got? I got Blood's Turtle. Give me your breakies. This is Mott's Snack Cups. Applesauce. Neat little cup. Fun on the run. Cinnamon. Goodies. Okay. I got a skateboard here. What else? Let's play the Magic Rabbit. Deal.
Mott's six-pack. Original, natural, cinnamon.
Yo, Spike, I got the Mott's.
Some things are worth waiting for, like the car that in almost no time at all has become the best-selling import around. Well, you've waited long enough. The Hyundai Excel is here, and you're invited to our grand opening Excelebration with 7 Excel models priced under $7,000 and starting at just $52,995. Come in and test drive the Hyundai Excel, the car that makes sense.
The new Harold Hyundai, now open next to Harold Chevrolet in Bloomington.
At Maytag's year-end sale, you'll find factory discounts on dependable Maytag washers. They're $30 off. You'll also find factory discounts on Maytag dishwashers. They're $30 off. These savings on Maytag dependability will be gone before you know it.
Finally, something to do.
So hurry in to Maytag's year-end sale.
Save on Maytag at Hagen's, Columbia Heights and Richfield, where 90 days is the same as cash. Annual percentage rate of 17.88.
In our HealthCast tonight, the official start of the flu season in Minnesota. State officials say a 3-month-old Hennepin County baby contracted influenza A and has since recovered. Anyone who's received a flu shot earlier this year is protected. The rare virus is not a new strain, and so far there have only been 3 other cases reported in the entire country. Researchers have found new clues to the cause of the so-called yuppie disease, Epstein-Barr syndrome. 2 independent researchers are convinced the illness can be traced to the rubella vaccine against German measles. Scientists say young adults who come down with the syndrome may be having an allergic reaction to the rubella virus. Mononucleosis is a mild form of Epstein-Barr syndrome.
A rare occurrence at the Children's Hospital has the staff doing double duty after 5 sets of twins were born. We sent News 11's mother-to-be, Mary Stuckey, to see how the parents are getting along.
You might call it twins fever. 5 sets of twins born within 24 hours at St. Paul Children's Hospital. There we go. 3 sets of boys, 1 set of girls, and 1 boy-girl pair, all born between 11:45 Monday night and the same time last night. In one case, the twins came as a surprise. George Hosh had no idea there were 2 babies until after the first twin was born.
I thought nowadays everybody knew if they were going to have twins or not. But that proves that somebody doesn't.
All the twins and moms are doing fine. Dave Kaner is learning what it's like to cope with 2 babies crying in stereo.
How do I stop this baby from crying?
But for parents and babies, there seems to be comfort in numbers. Mary Stuckey, News 11, St. Paul.
And as far as she knows, Mary is not going to have twins.
And as we promised yesterday on News 11 at 5, what bugs women about men today? In a USA Today News 11 poll, some of the complaints about men include that they can't find the laundry hamper without a compass. Men think women are materialistic. Men think women gossip while men network. And some women complain that men never send Christmas cards. The results were from a survey of women across the country.
Oh, what do you think? You asked me yesterday.
Well, the laundry hamper one does have some merit. Won't you agree?
I agree with that. When men get, some men, when they get married or when they establish a relationship with a significant other, they get real stupid.
Sloppy.
Me, honey, where are my shoes? I mean, she wasn't wearing them, and I do that all the time.
Yeah, that's an honest admission, Paul.
That is, and I do that all the time, I really do. Still to come on News 11 at 5, we'll hear from a New Orleans Saint who is pretty familiar with the Vikings.
And how the Courage Center took steps to solve a woman's struggle with stairs. We'll be right back. I don't know.
Toyotathon is rolling, but it ends soon. Your Toyota dealer selling nearly 90,000 cars, trucks, and vans, saving you millions of dollars. Listen.
Coast to coast, Toyota dealers are saving buyers hundreds, even 1,000 or more.
I saved 1,000.
Me saved 600.
They're excited.
See how much you can save. Your Toyota dealer is staying open late, but you've got to hurry. Toyotathon 88 ends soon at your Toyota dealer.
Every one of these cough syrups treat a cough with exactly the same ingredient, including Vicks, Triaminic, and Robitussin. So what choice do you really have? The difference in Benylin, because only Benylin has diphenhydramine, a most powerful cough suppressant to stifle the most annoying cough. Benylin, recommended for its strength by doctors for over 30 years. Benylin, our strength is your relief. From Park Davis.
Amber is $1.99 jumbo breakfast. 2 farm fresh eggs, 2 buttermilk pancakes, 2 country sausage links, and 2 strips of hardwood cured bacon, only $1.99. Embers, big taste, small check.
The presidential candidate did not admit to improper behavior, but did announce.
But disclosures of the TV evangelist's personal misconduct raised
more indictments for insider trading on Wall Street are expected tomorrow. In the meantime,
America, which took such back-thumping pride in its spiritual renewal, finds itself wallowing in a moral morass.
Others replayed scandal after scandal. Time realized the bigger issue was ethics. Time. There's no substitute.
From the update desk this evening, more charges following a large-scale drug investigation into the Minneapolis Police Department.
Andrea Shane's in the newsroom with that story and more. Andrea?
Well, Paul and Kirsten, 3 more police officers were charged in the widening drug scandal, and a 4th was officially notified. He, too, has been implicated. Officers William Thornburg, Ronald Findorf, Bruce Hansen, and Sergeant Dennis Flatgard were told today they face departmental charges for allegedly smoking pot. Police officials say if the charges are proven, dismissals may be warranted.
It's the law.
But will they be fired?
Marijuana is against the law, and police officers are sworn to uphold the law. If they are purchasing, possessing, transporting, and using illegal drugs, they are breaking the law, and we cannot tolerate that.
Police officials expect at least 1 more officer to be charged before the investigation is over. It looks like 250 mentally handicapped adults will be able to keep their jobs. About an hour ago, Hennepin County Commissioners voted to approve the $274,000 needed by the agency that assists in finding them their jobs as well as keeping them. Opportunity Workshop provides their transportation to and from work, along with counseling needed to maintain their positions. For some physically handicapped people, their homes can become an obstacle in their daily lives. But with the help of the Courage Center programs, these obstacles can be overcome. News 11's Amy Powell has this update.
Joyce Vincent doesn't have to struggle up and down the stairs in her house. Instead, she rides a motorized chairlift. And the flat carpeting on her floor makes walking easier. In fact, everything in Joyce's home is designed to meet her needs.
Because of arthritis, I have limited range of motion and limited strength and endurance, so that I need a kitchen especially that I can function in independently. I need things where I can reach them when sitting down.
Her cabinets have levers rather than knobs. Shelves and drawers slide out easily, putting everything within her reach.
The other thing that really is helpful is having the stove and the sink with a lot of knee space underneath.
Joyce says the engineers at Courage Center have helped change her life.
Every time I come up with problems that I want to do this and I can't, but how do I figure out how to do it? They've got a way to do it.
About the only thing Joyce can't do by herself is house cleaning.
Joyce is one of more than 120 people who've had their homes modified with the help of Courage Center this year. And already the center expects to help about 300 people next year. Amy Powell, News 11, Minneapolis.
And the number to call to make a donation to the Courage Center is 593-9211. Volunteers from the Courage Center are waiting to take your call right now. So far this year's fundraiser has raised $28,000, and all of that money will go to benefit many programs for the handicapped. There are a couple of operators whose phones are not busy right now, so go ahead and make your call. They will be on duty until 11 o'clock tonight. And finally, a sign that people are already looking ahead to next year's Toys for Tots campaign. Today we received this check for $1,000 sent to News 11 from SIT Investment Associates Foundation in Minneapolis to boost next year's drive. This year at the KARE Studios, 66,000 toys were collected. In all, a record 117,000 toys were collected by Marines and sent to needy kids. And so we thank everyone very much who participated and helped make this drive a huge success. And that's it from the newsroom.
That check is pretty neat.
Absolutely, very generous.
Fabulous. Yeah. Thanks, Andrea. The Minneapolis Pound was recently honored for its work helping lost animals. The Pound received the award for its excellent record for returning animals to their owners or finding new owners for lost animals. News 11's Pet Savers was mentioned in the award because the weekly report has resulted in an increase in animal adoption.
Jeff Passold is here now with sports. He's going to talk about the Vikings.
Some irony involving this game this weekend. Just watch. The last couple days we have pointed out that the Vikings have a couple of players who will be making a homecoming in New Orleans Sunday. Linebacker Chris Martin once played for the Saints, and defensive lineman Henry Thomas played college football at Louisiana State. But there is also a member of the Saints who knows a thing or two about being a Viking. For nearly 4 years, Mike Jones was part of the Vikings' passing attack. But last season, the Vikings traded Mike Jones, ironically, to the New Orleans Saints. And now Mike is a key part of the Saints offense.
When you look at a situation like the Saints are in right now, we finish the season with a good record. First time in the playoff. I would say that, playing it worked out the best for Mike Jones at this point. But when you look at it, Minnesota in the playoffs also 2 years later.
Jones is currently the second leading receiver on the Saints squad, but he still keeps in touch with his former teammates here in Minnesota. In fact, he has a little message for his friends on the Vikings.
I just like to tell the guys hi and come on down to the Thunderdome.
Everybody thought the Metrodome was the Thunderdome, huh? Odds makers have increased the line on Sunday's game, saying the Saints are now a 7-point favorite. And it does get noisy down there. I've never seen a game, but they tell me it's louder than the Metrodome when the fans get into it.
It's a big spread.
Yeah.
Why did they trade him?
Because a guy named Anthony Carter arrived on the scene, and Leo Lewis continued to play well, and Hassan Jones was a surprise. He was about a, what, 4th or 5th round draft pick, something like that. He came through, and so the other Jones, Mike Jones, became expendable.
And that's
He's doing very well down there.
The way of life in the NFL.
Part of a team that's really turned around and surprised a lot of people, and everybody says that this team is really on its way to doing some things in the NFL. Let's hope not Sunday for the Vikings.
We can stop them. Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you. Still to come on News 11 at 5, Paul Douglas will be back with the answer to today's weather trivia question.
And a musical salute to a couple of monkeys celebrating birthdays. We'll be right back.
It's the Price Buster sale at Menards, and here's a red-hot buy. Gilson Porta-Heat space heaters are on sale now in sizes for the garage, workshop, or barn. These forced air heaters provide instant, dependable heat, burning fuel oil or kerosene. This 100,000 BTU model heats over 18,000 cubic feet for more than 13 hours per tank. Now just $198. Hurry in for the Price Buster sale at Menards.
We're helping you build America's heartland at Menards.
Ski Afton Alps with 18 chairlifts and 36 trails located 15 miles east of the Twin Cities. Call 436-5245 for a snow report.
You've worked hard all year just so you can make the holidays nice for those you love. Now the holidays are over, and it's time to do something nice for yourself. During your Dodge dealer's year-end sales drive. Plus, for a limited time, get the Dodge America plan on selected 87 models in stock. It's a plan for the way America buys. Low financing, cash toward your down payment, and a great protection plan. Treat yourself with a year-end deal today.
At Famous Footwear, the year's last sale means you save up to an extra 50% in every department. But the sale ends when the year ends, so hurry. Ciao.
¿Cómo estás?
Howdy.
At Hardee's, we brought in experts to see if the new international toppings made our quarter-pound burger even better. The Italian, mozzarella and pizza sauce. The Mexican, chili, onions, and cheese. The American, cheese and tender ham. They were a huge success in any language.
Caramba! Oh no! Now this is a burger.
Hardee's, let us win you over too.
Time to check back in with Paul Douglas, who's shivering his timbers out back.
No, this isn't so bad. Tomorrow I will be.
Yeah.
For sure. Waiting on the cold front, I'll tell you what, an eye-watering, nose-numbing, toe-crackling air mass on the way for tomorrow. With that in mind, here's the question one more time. Which of the following will keep you warmest during a cold outbreak? More than one answer today.
Oh, we think what?
We think A,
C, and D.
D, and B sort of a maybe, with some qualifications.
Actually, the layers of clothing will keep you warmer than one big heavy overcoat, mittens warmer than gloves, and a warm hat. Most of the heat which escapes your body goes right through the top of your head. Alcohol may leave you feeling warmer temporarily, but you wind up colder than before you started. So it was a little ambiguous, but you did a pretty good job.
You know, you can always tell when there's a layer of white out there in the backyard. That lighting on you, you seem to...
It's very nice.
Yeah, you seem to glow out there.
They've used extra makeup. They brought out the caulking gun and the putty knife, and I look a little better today. Thank you.
Knox Lumber,
See you later.
thank them.
Well, happy birthday if you're celebrating today. You share the day with some famous people. Singer Bo Diddley turns 59 today. Singer-musician Michael Nesmith, 45, and singer Davy Jones is 42.
And finally, a birthday salute to Michael Nesmith and Davy Jones, a couple of monkeys.
Going to leave you with a rock group performing one of their golden oldies. Have a good evening.
From the glitter of Hong Kong, the quiet beauty of Kyoto. From the lovely island of Maui come the inspirations for my Susie Wan dinners. Just add your shrimp, beef, or chicken to my long grain rice, unique spices, and special sauces. You'll create extraordinary sweet and sour chicken, oriental shrimp, or teriyaki beef in just 10 minutes. Let Susie Wan bring excitement to your table. Susie Wan dinner recipes make the ordinary extraordinary in just 10 minutes.
If you gotta go because a life's on the line, you better have it. Champion Battery.
If you got to go when it's 20 below, you better have it. Champion battery. If you got to go because the stork's arriving, you better have it. Champion. 700 cold cranking amps. Pound for pound the most powerful battery you can buy. Guaranteed to start your car. Champion. You better have it.
Hi, I'm Joan Steffen. The Therapeutic Recreation Program at Courage Center combines rehabilitation and fun in very creative ways. Participants choose from a wide variety of activities. With slight adaptations of methods and equipment, disabled people participate in and benefit from water sports, team competition, and individual activities. It takes courage to try new and challenging rec activities. Operators are standing by right now to take your Courage Center pledge. Call 593-9211.
In Washington.